Hello, everyone. My name is Spencer, and I am a theater maker. That means I'm an actor. Sometimes I clown, and sometimes, most of the time, I actually get to teach drama to kids. So just in case you missed our How to Make a Puppet in a Day workshop, here are some fun tips so that you too can make some puppets in around your house. So why don't we start with one of the easiest puppets? Where did I put it? A puppet that you can make just out of a piece of paper. So you can turn a piece of paper like this into something like this. So you can see that this puppet has a mouth that opens and closes so that it can help speak. But there's nothing else to this puppet yet. So let me show you how to make that. Why don't you take a piece of paper like this and put it on its long side. So we have kind of up and down like this, but then you also have nice and long like this. Now, fold your paper in half the long ways, just like this. Perfect. Now, open it up again so that you have one crease hanging down your paper. Now fold one side all the way to this crease line right here. So if I fold it like that, see, it's where the crease is, and fold that once again like that. Now, let's do that to the other side. So take that paper and fold it till it touches the other piece of paper, just like that. And you gotta press down to make a nice little fold. Now you've got a piece of paper that looks like this. Now one more time, fold it again like this so that you have one tube. Now, we did all that folding so that we have pockets for later on. Now, fold your paper in half upways this time around so that you have one crease in the middle of your paper. See, this is what I mean by a crease. It's just a nice big fold in the middle of your paper. Now take one half and fold it down to that crease line and give it another fold. This is kind of always the difficult part. Now take that other piece of paper and fold it back to that other side like so, and give that a nice big rub so that it's nice and creased. Now we have a piece of paper like this. Flip it around so that this side has no open flaps, where this side has all the flaps, so all of the flap, and fold it one more time in half. Now you can see on the other side that you've got perfect little holes that you can put a finger in. So if you put one finger in this hole and your thumb in the other hole, you've got blah, 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 a working mouth. Now, why don't you take some other pieces of paper and glue on or color on an eyeball? Maybe it's an eyeball that sticks out like this, blah, right? Or you can take a marker and draw a big eyeball on. Like this, right? Draw two eyes. Maybe this character has a little bit of a nose. Like that. And that looks like a little smiley face, but it's supposed to be a little button nose. And maybe inside it has a tongue. So let's draw a nice big blah, tongue. Like that. You can make this as fancy or as simple as you want, but just from a piece of paper, you created blah, blah, blah. And we gotta fix this nose. It looks too much like a smiley face, hey? You've got blah, blah, blah. A cool little puppet that can tell some instructions. Ha, ha, ha. Or why not take a piece of paper and create one of these things? We might have created this in class already to tell your fortune. Blah, 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 blah. Put some eyeballs on it. Put two fingers in one, and you've got a talking square puppet just like this. Blah, blah, blah. My favorite favorite thing to create some interesting things around home is raiding my recycling bin. So you can find some interesting things in your recycling bin, like some water bottles or maybe some cardboard boxes, maybe like a cereal box. Now, this is just a box that I had sitting in my recycling bin, but it had this cool flap. And so I drew some teeth on it and taped a piece of paper on the back to create some eyeballs to make a nice little talking puppet. Now this is just the start. I could add so many more things that I have just hanging around the house, like maybe some circle cutouts from paper or foam. Oh, maybe you have a googly eye sitting at home and you can pop a googly eye on like this, bleh, so that you have something nice. Oh, it just flew off. Oops. Maybe you've got some pipe cleaners that you can make some teeth that stick out. Or maybe you can give them some feathery hair, just like this. Cool. Or why not take something like your water bottle? It may not necessarily have a mouth that can open and close, so maybe this puppet doesn't speak at all. But I like how this kind of reminds me of something that could move like this, like a fish. So why don't I take something like a glue stick or some white glue or maybe a piece of tape, or if you're lucky and you're allowed to use, if you have some hot glue, do a little bit of dab on each side, just like that. Let's stick one of those paper cutouts that I had, create like a little bit of an eyeball dot on one side and the other side. Cool, just like that. Now we've got an eyeball. Maybe it kind of looks something fun like that. Ooh. But like I said, I like to make things like a fish. So why don't I take a piece of paper and your scissors, and why don't we cut a fin shape out of this piece of paper? And my bottle is quite big, so I want this to be like a big whale in the ocean. So there, I've got my fin. Now here's a tip. If you fold one end down, just like what we did with the paper puppet, and make a nice little crease, now all of a sudden you can make it a lot easier to glue or tape on your puppet. So you've got this nice little flap here where you can put glue all the way on the inside like this, or you can glue it all the way like this, or maybe this one, I'm going to use a piece of tape. So I'm going to take some Scotch tape like this, and I'm going to put the tape on the inside of the flap like this. Like that. Oh, perfect. Since we got sticky part right here, I'm going to take my water bottle and position it so that in between the eyeballs we have one big giant fish. And because I added that crease, now the fin stays upright. Whoosh. And now I've got two little fishes that can go underneath the sea. Ooh, fun. Now my favorite type of puppet that you too can make at home, that is pretty easy and a lot more fun, is one of these guys. Flop! A sock puppet. So this was an old sock that I had hanging out in my house that lost its mate. I don't know where it went. Maybe it got stuck in the dryer. Maybe I lost it many moons ago. But regardless, I had a missing sock. So this is perfect to make a little puppet. And we're going to start by this. Let's take your puppet. Let's take a sock like this. And let's turn it inside out. So my puppet's an interesting one this time around because it's just a boring old black sock. It's just nothing, there's nothing fancy to it, but maybe your sock has stripes on it. Maybe it has polka dots on it. Ooh, maybe it's like fun colors, or maybe it's a sock from Halloween or Christmas. Who knows? So take your sock like this. Now maybe around your house you have a piece of card stock or a piece of cardboard. Now this cardboard shouldn't be a thick piece of cardboard. It should be something like this, like a cue card shape. Works awesome for this. If you don't have a cue card, maybe you have a cereal box that kind of a cardboard would work just fine. It's nice and thin, you can see through it, you can bend it, it's bendable. Or maybe you have an old magazine in your house and the back page of the magazine is a little bit thicker as well. Magazines are also cool for your paper puppets because they've got interesting shapes and layouts and colors in it. So you could use pictures of a mountain to create some skin or to create some funny costumes for your puppets to wear. Or if you don't have blue paper, an old magazine can help because you can use blue sky as your blue paper. Let's get back to our sock puppet. Take your piece of cardboard like this. Now you don't need a huge piece. A cue card is a perfect size, really. And you're gonna make one big giant oval. So what's an oval? It's not circle. It's kind of nice and long like this. Unfortunately, this little tiny piece isn't as big. It's way too small than what we need. So take your card like this and you're gonna cut a nice oval shape. Perfect, right? Now, take your oval and fold it in half once. Oh, that's a nice thought. You could even make an oval by taking one of your cue cards, folding it in half, and drawing out half a circle from corner to corner and cut out that half a circle, right? And guess what will happen once you've cut that out? You too will have a pretty all right oval shape. So we see it's longer on two sides, which makes it not a total circle, but like an egg shape. Anyways, take your sock, just like this, but remember it's inside out. And take your paper and we're gonna stick some glue on the inside of your card paper. So you're gonna put some glue here and some glue here, and you're gonna stick your paper onto your sock like this. So it kind of looks like it has a hat on, maybe, kind of. Okay, let's do that. So once again, you can do it with some white glue if you have, but you gotta make sure you don't use too much or your hands are gonna be all full of glue. And you can use some hot glue if you have, that you can put on just like that. Now, the trick with hot glue is you wanna make sure it's nice and dry before you touch it, because it can get really hot. So you might wanna ask a parent for help. So take your glue paper and put it on top of your sock so that the middle crease is in the middle of your sock. Let's turn this around so you can see. And then you're gonna press your paper down so that the glue seals. Great, and now you can see it is stuck to your sock. Whoa! If you're using white glue, you might wanna let that dry a bit before you continue on. Okay, once you've gotten to this part here, turn your sock back right side out. And you will notice that all of a sudden that paper has helped us create a little bit of a mouth. What? So if you stick your hand inside your sock, you can scrunch down the paper, scrunch, 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 and all of a sudden your sock has a nice little mouth. It will help keep that shape of the mouth as well. And then that way it's just a little bit easier for you to use. Blah, 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 blah. Well now, look at that. Huh, it's just a normal sock. Take a look at all the craft supplies around you and figure out what kind of a character you want to make with your craft supplies. Do I want to make an animal? Do I want to make some cool character? Do I want to make a puppet that looks maybe something like me? Well, the hair color is not right, but you know what I mean. Oh, so you have to take a look around. Maybe you have some things like I do, like I have some feathers and pipe cleaners hanging around in just a container so they're all squished together. Or maybe I have some yarn or string hanging out. Or maybe I have some tape or ribbon. That's not tape. Or tape. Some fancy tape. And take a look at the things that you could add onto your sock puppet. Now, this is one I made a long time ago, and you can see here I had some felt that I made some big lips with and some big front teeth because I decided that this was a character like me when I was in kindergarten. Inside, we've got a nice tongue so that this character can go blah, because that's my favorite thing. We've got a button for a nose, a mismatched button. I used some feathers for eyelashes. We've got some yarn as hair, and I took a brush and just kind of combed out the yarn to make it nice and fuzzy. And this is an old twist tie that I had to use as a ponytail. See, you can kind of twist tie it off. Wow, would you look at that? I put an outfit on this sock, and this sock is an outfit made out of some scrap material that I had. So I had an old pair of pajama pants and an old dress that I had. This is from an old dress that I just had hanging out that had too many holes and couldn't be worn. And so I went, well, why don't we use it for some puppet making, which is kind of fun. I added some cutout hearts and stars to make it look a little bit fancy, and that's how I made that puppet. So if you are using hot glue, I recommend taking off your puppet and building your puppet like this. It's just that way you don't burn your hands. So I'm going to put maybe 2 little dots on my sock of glue, and maybe I'm going to use what do I have here that can be fun? Ooh, you know what? I actually have a googly eye, so I'm going to put this googly eye on like that. And I've got another googly eye over here. I don't think it's the same size, but I think that'd actually be pretty fun if they're 2 different sizes. Makes my character look a little bit cross-eyed now. Blah. Ah, I know what I want to do. What if I made this character have some glasses? So what if I took a pipe cleaner and I folded together a circle, and then I folded another circle, and then gave this a little bit of a trim. Cool. These could be my glasses. Oh yeah, look, it's a perfect fit. Great. So I'll glue that on. Great. And maybe I will add a nose. Does your puppet smell? Maybe it doesn't have a nose. Maybe it's a creature that doesn't have a nose. I'm going to use this blue pom-pom that I have as a nose just because that's really fun to have a nice big blobby nose like that. Does your character have any hair? What if you took some yarn and cut out some strips of yarn and made your character have a little bit of fun hair like this, and just like a doll that you would have at home? Maybe you braid it, maybe you twist it into knot, maybe you put a ponytail on. I'm gonna fold it so that I have lots of hair, but that maybe they have short hair, so I've just folded till it's like this, and I'm gonna stick a little bit of glue on and then press it down. Ooh, that's not bad. That's pretty cool. Does your character wear a hat? Are you building a hat? I built this hat earlier for my magician to fit right on top, but maybe it's like a clown hat. That would also be kind of fun. Does your character have eyebrows? You can make some eyebrows. You can do some feathers as hair. It makes fun feathery hair as well. Are you going to add a tongue to your character? Let's add a tongue. Tongues are really fun, hey? Yeah, so we'll stick this piece of foam into your puppet there. Now we have a little bit of a tongue. Does it wear teeth? Ooh, my goodness. Have as much fun as you want with these puppets. You can be super detailed and you can have a puppet that has all the things, or maybe your puppet's just as simple as mine. Now, my favorite part is to see your puppet come to life. Now take a look at your puppet. What's different from your puppet than what you have? Does your puppet have big teeth sticking out, kind of like this one? If your puppet has big teeth sticking out, do they talk differently? If my teeth were sticking out like this, would this character maybe talk a little bit like that? I don't know. Because my character's tongue is kind of sticking out on the side, let's see what that would look like for you. Hello, my name is... Oh, that's kind of a fun voice. Does it sound something like that? I also like how my glasses aren't sticking on properly, so maybe they can't see properly, and they're kind of this like, I always do this with my glasses, I can't see properly, so I walk around like this, and maybe they walk around with their head up a little bit more. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, awesome. So take your character out for a walk. Take it to a place it's never been before. Maybe it will see something you don't see, right? Where does your character live? What does its house look like? My house looks pretty normal to me anyways, because it has a table and it has a couch and it has a TV in my living room. But this Sock's living room, totally different. It has books everywhere it just has books, which is really funny because their glasses don't stay on right, so I don't know how much reading they will get done. Oh, your character also has a pet. So what kind of a pet is your character, does your character have? And take it for a walk. Is it a pet dog? Is it a pet marshmallow? Is it a pet, I don't know, what's your kind of pet? Oh, well, I have a pet fish, and I take it out for walks every day. You take a fish out for a walk? That's some sort of magic, don't you think? Whoa. Oh, your puppet also has a favorite place to go to at the park. So where's your puppet's favorite place to go to? Did I hear you say the monkey bars? That's awesome. Wait, the tetherball? That is even cooler. Oh, my favorite spot is hanging out by the trees out in the back corner of the field. Oh, very cool. Totally different. Oh, you must have a favorite food. Your puppet must be hungry, so go and get your favorite meal and make sure you eat it all up. Ooh, is it spaghetti? Is it macaroni? What's your favorite food? Is it candy? What is it? Is it something funny that we as humans would never eat? Is it a bowl of string? What is it? How much fun can you have with that? Because these puppets aren't you. They're totally different. What did you say? Oh, I was kind of embarrassed to say what his favorite food is. Yeah, but his favorite food are the back pages of all of the books. They don't exist in his house because that's what he likes to eat. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, that's your alarm clock. Your puppet has to go to work. What important job does your puppet have? Do they operate the garbage truck? Do they have an important office job? Ooh, is their job flying kites professionally? Whoa, that is so cool. What a fascinating job. What? You make that? That is so cool. Now your puppet needs to show off their cool dancing moves. Do they swivel? Do they go side to side? Do they go up and down? Or do they just move their nose? But how does your puppet dance? Ready? Let's all dance. That is so cool. Okay, so one last thing is your puppet has something very important to say, and then I'll say something that I have that's very important to say. And your puppet has one message to the entire world, and a message could be something like, be nice, or wash your hands, or I like pizza. So, Mr. Library Puppet, what is your message to the world? Read more books. Of course, that's a perfect message. That's awesome. Well, I've got one last message for you guys, and that is thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. I hope you make these cool puppets and that you have a lot of fun making them. Why not create a puppet show? Ooh, if you combine all of your puppets together, maybe some of the puppets you have at home, you never know what you can do. What if a monster met a fish? What kind of things would happen? Or maybe take a look at some things that you have sticking around the house and see if they could also be a puppet. Have fun and use your imagination. Bye, guys.